One idea for today is the idea of spiritual rejuvenation. So knowing or not knowing what may need to be rejuvenated within, simply allow for a body scan in the physical and a spiritual scan of the ethereal, and without struggle or strive for any effort. By your willingness, accept any healing, any insight, any transformation, any demonstrations of wholeness, healing, grace, and mercy. And if visualization or imagery help, think of it as pouring the divine even more fully and completely in through and as every organ, action, function, cell, and fiber of the being. And then glistening and glowing to the ethereal and all the other levels of consciousness that surpass the physical. Fully immersed by your desire, fully immersed by your willingness to be fully immersed. And allow for your breathing to take you even deeper still. Allowing any healings and transformations, any revelations, divine insight or wisdom. You can think of them as spiritual adjustments and alignment, that is known or unknown. Each breath allows you to go even deeper still. Think of yourself now as just being divinely fueled. Any areas needing fuel, spiritual fuel, open to receive them now by your willingness. To be immersed, empowered in your highest and greatest good. So with this next breath, just allow for the heart space to fill with gratitude. Gratitude for any divine insight and wisdom, direct revelation. Gratitude and praise for any healing, demonstration, manifestation. Everything continues to unfold with ease, with grace, with mercy, with joy. And as we exhale out even more gratitude into the sanctuary space. Bringing our awareness and attention back fully and completely to the physical. Again, we breathe in the divine, sacred, and holy breath. And as we return back to this present moment, you may want to just tap the fingertips together and the toes or feet to the ground, being certain you're all the way fully present and back in the physical. And when you're ready and in your own time, just gently allow for the outer eyes to open, becoming aware of the temperature and those who are present in the sanctuary space. So grateful to each of you I am for participating in the meditation portion of today's service, knowing that all who now come forth in the sanctuary receive their own divine insight, their own healing, their own transformation, their own miracle, for we have created the soil and seeds for this to occur. Namaste.
Next is a mental exercise. Think of the person next to you. Think God loves you and I love you too. And then feel that love in the sanctuary. Did your mind repeat after me? We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. And feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love of each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of Woo-hoo. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound like yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. Getting a message loud and clear. Getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. And it's a beautiful, beautiful morning.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Spiritual Center in Redlands. Thank you to everyone for joining us live in our beautiful sanctuary, and to those who follow us on Facebook Live and watch remotely on YouTube. My name is Rosemary Valdez Jones, and it's truly an honor and a privilege to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. We are a New Thought spiritual community, and all-inclusive to all spiritual truths from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. We focus on the philosophy of science of mind, which is developed in the earliest 20th century by writer and lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, who developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. We honor all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. If you are with us for the first time, please raise your hand and allow us to properly greet you. Hola. A gentle reminder to please silence your cell phones and place them safely away so that you may participate more fully.
Thank you, Rosemary. Lovely. Welcoming a few more people in at the back. Today's topic that Mark's going to talk about is spiritual rejuvenation. Woot woot. And the thought that occurred to me was for the easiest way to rejuvenate is to clear the decks. Clean the room. Clear out the closet. The drawer. The mind. The heart. Nothing to say, nowhere to go, nothing to do. I have no promises to make, no one to know, nothing to prove. It's a strange sort of existence, but somehow it seems so true. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be empty. I know nothing is wrong, nothing is right, all is in all. Right now, everything's gone, ambition and fight, no expectations at all. It's a new kind of intention, but somehow it seems so right. The only thing that I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be. I'd be perfectly fine if I stayed this way forever. Nothing on my mind, and I've never felt better. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be. This is how I'm born to be. Empty.
And so inviting us to continue in this beautiful energetic that's been created by our musical inspiration. Let's just take in together the divine, sacred, and holy breath. And And with our exhalation, just let it go easily and gently. Anything and everything that no longer serves us for our highest and best good, just release that with your exhalations. Release it through the soles of your feet. Release it through the pores of your skin. Never again to surface and reappear, and instead to be replaced with the truth that spirit is at hand, life is at hand, God is at hand, love is at hand, joy is at hand, abundance is at hand, healing, health, and wholeness is at hand right here and right now. And so let's breathe all that good in, all that was named, all that's unnamed, all that is for your highest and individual greatest good. Let's just breathe that in with ease and with grace. And with this exhalation, we release and surrender all lower frequencies and vibrations. Just let those go. Anything that no longer serves it, we bless and release, bless and release, bless and release it now. And now that we're in the center of the I am that I am, knowing that everything works together in order and harmony, knowing that and calling forth that Spirit make a way where I may not see the way. I just know that it all works together in good, with harmony, with grace, with joy, with a sense of ease. And so let's just, as we always do, say our own names out loud in the sanctuary space. Brother Mark. Now those that we hold in our hearts about prayer this day, just say the names out loud. Ed, the Gomez family, Chitjian family, Grace, Gabe, Vladimir, Vasily, Tatiana, all the practitioners who are praying, all the people in the meditation call. See them as Spirit made them, whole, complete, and perfect. Nothing missing, lacking, needing, or wanting. In fact, when you see them, see the radiance, see the divine holiness that's behind them now, that infuses them. It is almost a blinding light that you shall see when we see with divine and holy eyes. See that everything is in order and harmony, that there's only goodness with the capital G, there's only mercy with the capital M, and that all works together for good. This is what I proclaim. This is what I know to be true. This is what I know to be so. And so continuing in this prayer chain that we've created that connects to all other spiritual centers of truth that also pray this day about peace, let's find the peace within ourselves first and then offer it to the world. So with this next breath, just find that place within you that can access peace, the idea of peace. Send it through your family units. Send it through your fur babies. Send it through the workplaces. Send it through the school systems. Send it through the city. Send it through the state. Now let it vibrate into trillions and trillions of units of energy of peace and about peace. The peace that passes human understanding now. And we take it throughout the United States. See it through the cosmos and the stars. I believe there was a smiley face on the 25th of April in the cosmos. See this idea of peace now past the oceans to all areas in conflict, struggle, and strife. See it in Armenia. See it in Sudan. See it in the Gaza Strip, Palestine, Israel. See it in Ukraine. See Ukraine just blessed with the peace shield. Every city, village, and town, border to border, north to south, east to west. See humanitarian aid, food, water, reach those in critical need. Wondering to ourselves, how can, in 2025, there be famine? How can we allow for those who are hungry to go hungry? How can we permit that? Let this peace energy transform and transmute all world leaders now to choose peace without any explanation required, needed, nor wanted. It's just an alignment. It's a spiritual alignment. It's a spiritual rejuvenation to what is true, what is so, what is happening, despite appearance in the lower frequencies and vibrations. So we dust off the lower frequencies and vibrations. We stand on this rock of truth and shall radiate peace from ourselves until peace is the only thing that we see, feel, know, made manifest on earth now. I can feel you with me. And I invite you to stand on this rock of truth with me till it's made so, till it's made true right here and right now. And so I bless the rest of the service. I know it continues to unfold with ease and with grace, with a sense of play, with a sense of rejuvenation and renewal. And I know that anyone within the sound of my voice is open to receive right here and right now a personal transformation, a personal miracle for divine health and wholeness to have its full sway. Just say yes, yes, yes. Do you feel that for yourself? Would you allow that for yourself to have divine health and wholeness right here and right now for yourself? Just say yes, 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 yes. And anything and everything that does not match that, just let it slip away. This same truth is now so for perfect abundance, cash and money and flow, perfect grace, perfect in divine right word, perfect in divine right housing, perfect in divine right friendships, perfect in divine right romantic relationships, perfect in divine right congregation, perfect in divine right music, perfect in divine right message. It all comes forth with all the ingredients to make the most harmonious, what shall we call it, a stew? It's a harmonious stew of good. I'm calling it forth and invite each of us to see that we're an ingredient on top that's critical, that's needed, that's on purpose, that makes the whole thing taste even sweeter and greater. And so for this and so much more, I'm deeply grateful and forever thankful for this opportunity to speak the word and know the truth. I let it be and invite you to say together with me, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. And now Rosemary is going to come on up and do a reading. Rosemary has a special reading.
I come to you today to share with you what it takes during this transformative time, this tumultuous time, when there is so much uncertainty in the future. And hopefully this will give you the strength that it has given me, as it reminds me of what it takes to get through this and to get through any other burdens. So as we sit up or stand up on the ground, we talk about the earth. We talk about the air we breathe. We talk about the sacred water. I want you to put your hand on your heart and remember, too, the flame that you carry. The earth as an allure of the heart, as a place that gives courage. Courage does not mean that you're not afraid. It means that you have fear, but that you carry it anyway. To do what must be done, it takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of heart to be courageous. It takes a lot of work to tend to that fire, to clean the fire, to feed the fire, to gather what you need for your fire. And when you hold this fire within you, remember what it took to be here. Remember how many times you've had to step in to have courage when you were afraid. To hold that flame in the darkest of times so it can shine bright and you can share it with others.
What do I know? Not much, I guess. What do I feel? Same as all the rest. What do I think? Oh, that I'm trying. What do I dream? I dream of flying. Anybody else? Ever have flying dreams? They're beautiful. My favorite. Soaring high above the trees, free from all philosophies, sailing far above the ground, where a soul can sing. Do I see the world around? What do I choose to be here now? What do I hear? Your quiet voice. What do I lose? The need for choice. Soaring high above the trees, free from all philosophies, sailing far above the ground, where a soul can sing we from the stars above? Where do we go? We go to love. What happens then? All is one. What will we know? What words can say? Words can say. What words can say? What words can say?
Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Al Yankee. And so, good morning, everybody. My name's Brother Mark. I'm a practitioner emeritus within the Science of Mind teaching. It's nice to see you all, and welcome to Sunday celebration service. We just passed through Easter, right? So I think it's fitting today we're going to talk even deeper, I like the crown, about spiritual rejuvenation. When I say spiritual rejuvenation, what things come to mind, to your mind? Renewal. Very good. I say spiritual rejuvenation, and you say? Sunday morning lecture? Sunday morning talk. I say spiritual renewal, you say? Refreshment. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a sip of something. I say spiritual renewal, you say? Rebirth. I say spiritual renewal, you say? Spring? Spring, yeah. Right, new life. We went from 1 snapdragon to 3 snapdragons. I have to bring pictures next week. All those, Ed says they're bulbs. I don't know. Those lily plants that we have, I said, they're all about to come back. I'm not sure they'll be as tall as last year, but that idea of rebirth and renewal, they're making their way. They know what to do when they're in the dirt. And of course, isn't it beautiful to have some rain and showers? To me, that's a rejuvenation. That's a renewal. You go from the dark to the light. And then did you notice the 2 days of weather right before Easter? Did you notice the spring was perfection? I say spiritual rejuvenation, you say? What's that? Running. Yeah. You know what? Rejuvenation, I think it's physical too. I think it could be physical. I think there's times where our body needs probably 5 times a week, 18 to 22 minutes of a certain pace of cardio. Sorry to tell us this, but we need to tell us this because we're the spirit in the form and spirit in the flesh. We need to do that 5 times a week, 18 to 22 minutes. It's a minimum. That's just a minimum. And then you're right. And then as we get older, I'm noticing for me to have a rejuvenation, I have to do light weights, just for toning. I can't really do the heavy weights that I used to do when I was in my 30s. But now that I'm in my 40s, I could do a little more. Right? I just stay toned. Spiritual rejuvenation. I say that, you say? Rainbows over the clouds. Magnificent. Magnificent. And I don't know if you saw yesterday, the storms were kind of intermittent. And as soon as Ed went to take Buddy for a walk, boom, big downpour, right? And then I had to go out there and try to get him back in. And then you see, perfectly what Gilman was saying, powerful sun right after the rain. Did you see that? It was really cool. I say spiritual rejuvenation. You say nothing. That's okay. We're a spiritual center that you can be in the nothingness to receive the everythingness. Spiritual rejuvenation.
There is no amount of regret that gets rid of the past, and no amount of expectation that changes the future, and every amount of gratitude.
In the present.
Yes, it sits in the present.
And you're looking good, by the way.
Well, I know, thank you.
So spiritual rejuvenation.
Finding something to be joyful about every day.
Finding something to be joyful about every day. And is Sammy better and the cats are better? Yeah, everybody found their way? All right, spiritual rejuvenation.
I was going to say virtual exfoliation, but then when you were talking about physical stuff, which exfoliation is, then I was also thinking if you don't get enough sleep, you can make up for your sleep. Well, by doing binging sleep.
Binging sleep, like binging Netflix.
Yes, binging sleep, and then you feel rejuvenated after you make up for it.
Very good. Spiritual rejuvenation.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Spiritual rejuvenation.
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Spiritual rejuvenation.
Bright and shiny.
Yeah, something bright and shiny. Spiritual rejuvenation.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness. Spiritual rejuvenation.
Forgiving.
Forgiving. I love that. That's beautiful. Because if you're able to forgive, if you're able to do everything that Ed Dollar said, you're lighter. You're freer. And whatever was resurrecting us is now freeing us to the ascension, to that enlightened realm, right? To be more free. And we probably weigh less. And then when Ed said cleanliness, I was wondering if he meant, because I had a rejuvenation, I had the Grizzly Adams beard going on for like a week. And he was like, you have to shave. I'm like, I don't want to shave. You have to shave. And so then I shaved. And then I thought, well, should I make a goatee? And I'm like, it just still looks dirty, and it looks still like gray. Because once I hit my 40s, I got a little gray. Ha. Spiritual rejuvenation. Can you feel it? Yeah, and it's actually kind of strange and a little twisted that we can have medical procedures that will give us rejuvenation, supposedly. Google it. We're not going to talk about that. So do you want me to give you the definitions that I always do? As a noun, it's the process of rendering young again. I love that. Let's do an affirmation. I shall render myself young again. Will I? I shall render myself young again. And then would we do the same things that we did? I just took myself back some years, right? And I was proclaiming it and naming it. And some people applauded, thinking that I could pull it off. But this idea of spiritual rejuvenation is, would you think, have you ever thought that through? Like if there is no time in spirit, if you were to reverse all the time, would you make the same choices? Yes? No. Okay. So on some, it could be yeses. On some, it could be nos. And on some, it's an interesting retrospective. It's an interesting time to reflect, because I think the R word for reflection can also take you to the R word for rejuvenation. It's your own private workshop of reflection, if you want. Take yourself there sometime. And then, I should say, for me, it's interesting because I do believe there's a post I've seen several times. You probably have seen it. We're only one decision away from a totally different life. Have you seen that post? And it always strikes me. We're only one decision away from a completely different life. And that hit me deep. What's that? Butterfly Fest? Effect? Butterfly effect? Okay.
That's like when you change one thing, you go back in time,
Okay.
one thing, everything else.
Oh, when you change one thing, you go back in time, then everything else could change. Yes. You could think of that as a reflection. Lady with the hand up? Peggy?
Well, I think all the choices that we have.
Hold on. That's a lot of words. 1 second.
I think all the choices that we have made in our life have made us who we are today. And so I don't have any regrets.
And I'm not asking anybody to have a regret. What I'm doing today is saying part of the R word, right? We can use the retrospective to also rejuvenate and refresh and restore and make new.
And also the law of detachment, detaching from what doesn't serve us, gives the energy of revitalization and rejuvenation.
Very good. Thank you, Reverend Nathan. So he said what no longer serves us, make sure I got that right, can release to the highest, right? To the highest, greatest, anything, a healing, transformation, a revelation, what we would consider a personal miracle. So it's also the process of producing beneficial changes. That's part of the actual definition. As a noun. If you try to do like the Bible Hub definition, it has to do with faith, strength, inner peace, and we can get there through our spiritual tools, meditation, prayer, worship, and also it mentioned coming together in like-minded spiritual community. And I like that. So sometimes even us showing up, whether it's online or in person, we can encourage each other. Just like last week, Rosemary said to me, I have a reading. And so when I hear Rosemary say that to me, I make time for Rosemary to do a reading. Right? It makes sense. I want us to, as part of our rejuvenation, to live in this moment where we are not sure when our last moment's going to be. And I want us all, within the sound of my voice, to celebrate every single person, every single interaction, every single energy exchange, as though it could be the last. This could be the last formation of this whole entire group. And when I heard that the first time, I thought that was really profound. I heard it the first time in CSL-IE with Reverend George at his ordination. I was doing some sort of a prayer, and then another speaker said something like, this could be the last time all of us are in this space together, look around. And I thought, that is beautiful. Because then we can celebrate each other even just a little more. And some of this can be fractional. I think if we think of all the teachings, all the things we know, it's if we can open up fractionally even to our greatest and highest yet to be, it can be profound. Just like if you look at the magnitude system for earthquakes, right? You are aware, right, that I don't have it all here scientifically to say, but another time I'll bring it. But you know, right, by even the points, like let's say a 4.0 or to the 4.1 or 5 or 6 or 6.1. Like just think of the differences. Study what that is. Fractionally, it's intense. It's amazing. It's an amazing amount more. It's not like counting the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. The magnitude when you're studying earthquakes and when they're going back and forth and sometimes they adjust what they think it was to what it was, it is profound. And these are the same energy frequencies that can cause great tsunamis that we've seen, right? There's even shows on TV that can show you what that does now. They actually went back and did documentaries about these things. And it's amazing that the earth and the energy of the earth can produce that, is it not? And it doesn't always. Sometimes it triggers the warning systems and nothing, and sometimes the warning systems are broken and it triggers like the worst thing that anybody's ever seen, a catastrophe, because people weren't aware. So this idea for me of spiritual rejuvenation was coming to me so clearly too. We need to reboot things to make them work better, right? The things. We'll talk about a cell phone that then could block everybody if you don't refresh it or renew it. And then we're like, is that personal? I don't know. Let's check. Can you text me back? And then the computers always work better. They also have to have updates. I've been told you have to keep them on sometimes, even to have whatever antiviruses work at night or whatever it is. And then we had to reboot our cable system yesterday. We were watching a movie, and even with fresh batteries in the remote, the whole thing just wanted to be rebooted. Do we know, do we listen to our body temple when it says we should reboot? Can we do what David suggested in the back, that can we sleep to make up for the lack of sleep? Can we binge sleep? Yeah. It's say?
You lose your sleep, you can regain some of it.
Yeah. It's a process. You can work it out. It's probably individual. Some people are great nappers. I'm not a great napper. If you ever see me napping and I wake up, I'm even meaner than when I'm mean. Right? And then I know other people, for a friend that was in the back before, he could sleep like you could count to 5, they could be asleep. So this idea of rebooting, I wanted to bring up too, because I think we need to give ourselves permission to reboot. Part of the other spiritual tools about this rejuvenation is to just be a little mindful too. What are we putting in? What are we ingesting in the physical, the body temple, the temple of the living God that's in form and flesh is us? So mindful of food choices is sometimes good. And I'm going to also say, if you want a piece of cake, we turn it into broccoli in our mind and eat it. We enjoy it. I want us to relish the things we're taking in. I want us to be mindful of the practice that I speak about from here so many times. It's perfect assimilation, perfect elimination. Can you say that for yourself? Perfect assimilation, perfect elimination. And then when you really believe that for yourself, watch what happens, because you can also do a rejuvenation for your body. Now, if you want it to be forced, you might call it a colonics. Has anybody ever had that? Oh my gosh, talk to me after. Because years ago we've had that, and it's a way to lose like 3 to 4 pounds of S that you don't really want. Why is it still in you? And when you see, they can even sometimes show you the stuff as it's going out, and you're like, holy moly. And then you would even stop. Talk about a rejuvenation. I want to talk about this. Just Google it later. How long is your colon? It's like a garden hose size. And can I refresh that? Can I rejuvenate that? The answer is absolutely yes. And then after you do it, to me, is it a spiritual thing? Oh, it was. It was many years ago the last time. And then the things that I used to like or crave, I didn't want anymore. I think it's the last time I had Rocky Road ice cream. And then it talks about popcorn or whatever. Because think about it. Are we thinking about How do we rejuvenate? How do we refresh? How do we restore? How do we make new? Part of it, look at, we have parts too, just like our automobile, right? Yeah, the other day, Ed had the lug nuts on the car tightened, because you're supposed to do that after you get new tires. We got 2 new tires. It says on the receipt, go after 50 miles. Instead, we drove to Arizona and back, and then more of my work. And then finally, I was thinking of my angels and the retractors that I put up every day, because the dollars make me do that. And I'm like, the lug nuts. I don't want to think about my lug nuts. We just get them tightened, because they went in there, they did the adjustments, there you go. So when we come here, we're doing a spiritual alignment. We're doing, I think every time we come together, we're making ourselves spiritually new. Yeah, we refresh ourselves. We remind ourselves of just how beautiful we are. We remind ourselves of how powerful we are. And then we remind ourselves how beautiful and powerful we are, especially when we're in the same space. Let's see what else I brought. So from Job 12:7 through 10, but ask the animals, and they will teach you, the birds of the air, and they will tell you. Ask the plants of the earth, and they will teach you. And the fish of the sea will declare to you. Who among all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of every human being. And this is a person named Epictetus. It's a Greek philosopher, Epictetus. On the occasion of every danger that besets you, remember to turn within and inquire what power you have for turning it to use. Do I need to read that again? Okay, allow the outer eyes to close. And when I did the research on Epictetus, he died in 138, they called it CE, and was born into slavery, and then later lived in Rome. On the occasion of every danger that besets you, remember to turn within and inquire what power you have for turning it to use. Everybody catch it? From Myrtle Fillmore, How to Let God Help You. When we pray together in omnipresence, we lose sight of everything but the one presence. We recognize only the spiritual source of all things, and the full understanding and use of this source is all that our souls have longed for. From Eric Butterworth, prayer is not something we do to God, but to ourselves. It is not a position, but a disposition. It is not flattery, but a sense of oneness. It is not asking, but knowing. It is not words, but feeling. It is not will, but willingness. And I love that, because we're just taking a couple of the tools for rejuvenation, right? So that's a little bit about prayer. I think this is a little bit about meditation. From Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, page 185. To daily meditate on the goodness of life and embody the great ideal is a royal road to freedom, to that peace which passeth understanding. It is happiness to the soul of humankind. Let us learn to see as God sees. Let us seek the good and the true and believe in them with our whole heart. Isn't that beautiful? Let's say part of that is an affirmation. It's coming to me now. I seek the good and the true, and believe in them. Do you? I seek the good and the true, and believe in them. Beautiful. So that's a little bit about prayer, a little bit about using meditation for rejuvenation. So now we're going to expand our lexicon as we do here, right? You ready for 1 or 2 new words? All right, here we go. I'm going to pronounce this entelechy. Let's say it. Entelechy. It's E-N-T-E-L-E-C-H-Y. Entelechy. Does anybody know what it is? It's a realization or actuality as opposed to a potentiality. And it's a vitalist philosophical concept. It's a vital agent or force directing growth and life. Isn't that beautiful? Entelechy. I'm sure the gentleman in the back that just came in knew what this word was. We're adding to our lexicon. Entelechy. Entelchy. So what synonyms do you know for entelechy? Remember, a realization or actuality as opposed to a potentiality. And in vitalist philosophical concept, it's a vital agent or force directing growth and life. Revelation, sure. It can be a direct revelation. Everybody's able to receive a direct revelation by our willingness, right? I think other synonyms can be how spirit works, right? It can be spirit, whatever it is. Find what works for you, but are you happy we're adding to our lexicon? I have one more for you after this. Entelechy, you got it? Okay, to me that's part of revelation because we're open at the top. Just like in the teaching symbol, the tilde, it was always meant, science of mind in this teaching was always meant to be open at the top. Knowing that there would be self-driving cars, that the Jetsons cartoon that some of us grew up with would be, come to life. Knowing that a Tic Tac could become our dinner. Remember when they used to make food and it would just be like a little pill or of some sort? And also, if you were ever on RuPaul's Drag Race, that's a snack for them. Just a single Tic Tac. That means you had lunch with RuPaul. All right. So Holmes, in Anatomy of Healing Prayer, page 14. The search for divine unity, the realization of unity, necessitates the acceptance that there's no dividing line, that we shall expand, progress, evolve, ad infinitum, in a sequence from where we are to any stage that we shall ever become. Out of eternal being comes everlasting becoming. Out of eternal being comes everlasting becoming. I still have everybody? I better go to my end soon. Oh, and then I was thinking, we'll do the flute thing later, but the idea, how many times does a snake shed its skin? Do you know? It's yearly, Rosemary? It depends on the snake. That's part of the reason, though. That is part of the explanation. How many times? Give me a number. 5? It's in there, in the range. It's 4 to 12 times a year. Yeah. That's amazing. I did not know that. And it said, part of what Phil said. It depends on the age of the species and the environmental conditions. And I thought, that's like a rebooting, isn't it? That's definitely a rebooting. And what I liked about the idea of playing the I Dream of Jeannie music, or even some of us grew up with shows like Bewitched, Google search that. Like the idea of blinking, or like my favorite part was when Jeannie would go in the bottle, what did she turn into before she got in the bottle? Smoke. Right, you know what? And what was part of the reading too was that we are fire. When we were holding our hearts in the reading, we are just fire. We're energetic beings. You honestly are a flame. You're a flame encapsulated in all the human flesh and skin and all that. You are just like when Jean comes in dancing to her place, she's bringing the heat. She's bringing the fire. Do you feel that? Let's say an affirmation. I am the heat. I am the heat. Are you? All right, I'm not quite done yet. So let's just see. And part of this idea of rejuvenation, did you know that, and I want to speak just a minute about the Pope. Let's speak a minute about the Pope, and let's speak a minute about how the Pope actually did part of the Easter service, and then had their own choice to to ascend or to be complete. Isn't that amazing, the timing of that? Well, I just think all of it's beautiful, and I do think people can mark time. Like one of my favorite aunts passed on my 40th birthday, and Ed had an incredible celebration in Palm Springs with, had a hotel, had the whole thing. We were living large at that time, and they went on. They had the dinner. I was gone. I went to she was buried on my birthday, I think. So I went to her service, but they all continued with the birthday party. Like we may have a party for Lisa Yamato in the back today, but Lisa's partying somewhere else. It all works because we're going to keep rejuvenating, and if we move forward, right? Isn't that how life works? We move forward. And I do think people can mark a day. Ed's beloved sister Edna, who raised him, passed like the morning after Mother's Day. So there, and we've had my brother, I think, was buried on your birthday, right? And that's because you were so close. Oh? Okay, some people decide. And there's also people who have been together so long that when one spouse goes, the other one goes fairly quickly, right? After. You've seen that. Okay. So now back to the Pope just for a minute, and then we're going to talk about a new color, and then we're going to be done. So I'm just going to read part of this because I don't want to get anything wrong. So as bells tolled across Rome, the world said goodbye to Pope Francis, the first pontiff from the Americas and a transformative figure in the Catholic Church. And born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, right? He brought a rare blend of humility, boldness, and humor to the papacy. Throughout his tenure, he championed mercy over judgment, simplicity over pomp, and bridge building over division. He washed the feet of prisoners, opened the church's arms wider to LGBTQ plus people, and pushed for the environmental stewardship with his groundbreaking Laudito Si encyclical. Francis also played a key role in restoring diplomatic relations between the United States and Cuba. And in a world often tangled in ideology and fear, he reminded us that at the heart of it, who am I to judge, might be the holiest of questions. There's also a quote of all the quotes that they provided. It was the one that I think our center does. It says, you pray for the hungry, then you feed them. That's how prayer works. So we, in our teachings, in our centers, we treat and move our feet. We pray, and then we take action steps, right? So about the Pope, you do know that they chose to not use the papal apartments, right? Which were supposedly lavish. Instead, always lived in the guest house, like for 12 years. Did you guys know that? Right. And then did you know that even in the casket, they said it was a simple casket, right? You saw it probably on TV. I couldn't believe they were showing the whole thing on TV. But did you see that it was a simple casket? Where other popes had been buried in 3 caskets. And it was usually a process. Like these were like lead lined. And I'm not saying his isn't lead lined, but it was 3 things. Like it was encasing, right? And then will be entombed outside of the Vatican. That's the first time, I think, maybe in 150 years or even more. Like maybe it's the first time ever that a pope is going to be entombed. He picked a place in Rome, a church, that was the place he wanted to be entombed. And it will have just one word, Francis. It will not have anything else. Is it going to say Franciscus? Not just Francis? Not just Francis? Franciscus. It'll say the whole thing. I think anybody who saw the pontiff in action could be moved. I was moved, right? I mean, you could see how he was with kids. There was stories that you could research and Google about kids that tried to break through the motorcade when he was in the Pope Mobile, and he would allow them through. There's a story about a young person who was really concerned and had a chance to ask the Pope a question. And it was something to do with the idea that his father was not baptized, but the kids were baptized. And the answer back, and then he asked the audience, the Pope asked the audience, if your father had that good of a heart to have the kids baptized, don't you think God would find your father? And that kind of thing. Does that make sense? It was beautiful, and it was magnificent. And you could see the specials. You should take a minute if you want to watch some of that. Because imagine a billion or more people, a billion with a B, that you were leading in some spiritual way. That's pretty powerful in itself. And then if you saw all the world delegations that were going to stop time and travel, right, to Rome to be there. So check that out. At the same time that was happening, scientists discovered a new color. It's going to be my closing, I believe, and it's a color, I think it's called OLO, O-L-O. Did anybody hear about this? Okay, the lady in the back with her hand up. Do you remember, lady in the back, what the color was? Tell us.
They said it was a really intense teal.
Exactly. A really intense teal. It says it's a vibrant, ultra-saturated teal, and it emerged through an innovative technique that involves stimulating only the M-cone photoreceptors in the human eye using a specialized laser. And it's highlighting the intense saturation and the uniqueness of the color. Some people are saying it could be a spiritual color. Do you see what I'm saying? And it happened at the same time as the goodbye to Pope Francis. So the new color is so vivid and unclassifiable, O-L-O, right, OLO, that it was, lies outside the normal boundaries of human vision. So some are calling it the color of divine presence. Lady in the front. Is it going to be long?
Many years ago, a spiritual teacher told us that in the future there would be a new chakra between the heart and the throat, between the blue and the green, and that would represent unconditional love. So it'll be another energy center.
Let's call it OLO. And let's do that. All right. When Al comes up, that means I have to go to my ending. So do you guys get any kind of rejuvenation? Yes. Did you get enough of the cheesecake? And can you feel it? Yes. That's the most important thing, is that when you leave a place that you feel better than when you arrive, and at least you're open. I think I invited everybody today to be more fractionally open, right? Fractionally open to receive your greatest yet to be. So let's say that together as an affirmation. I am open. I open the floodgates to receive my highest and best good. Right here and right now. Do you? Do you? All right, and I have to close with some kind of a reading or something. Let's see how this goes. If you want to play, you can. This is from Holmes, Richer Living, page 69. Allow the outer eyes to close if you want, and if you want to watch, you can watch. Either way. How evident is the beauty of God in everywhere we look? How wonderful is the landscape, the sunset, or the color of the desert at dawn? And what majestic beauty and strength in the mountain and the waves. Everything is rooted in beauty. Beauty is harmony and right proportion. It is symmetry and charm and grace and loveliness. Surely we should identify ourselves with this terrific beauty that pours its warmth and color over everything and is at the very root of our being. Just remind yourself and say out loud with me, let me say it first, and then if you agree, you'll say it. I am too rooted in beauty, grace, and loveliness. I am rooted in beauty, grace, and loveliness. From Charles Fillmore, Talks on Truth, page 30. The I am is pure spirit, the prism through which the white light of being is focused and refracted in many colors. From A. Helwa, Secrets of Divine Love. Repeating our prayer in a heartfelt way is like submerging the fabric of our souls into an ocean of God consciousness. Just as leather has to be consistently dipped into tubs of dye to retain the color, when we repetitively turn to God, our spirits become wrapped in Allah's colorful qualities, permanently dyeing us with the beauty of divine grace. And let's say that last part as an affirmation together. I am permanently dyed with the beauty of divine grace. And I'm going to close with scripture from Jeremiah 33:3. Call to me, and I will answer you, and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known.
What words can't say, what words can't say.
Is it time for the offering? Ushers are coming forth. It's a time for the offering. And there's still time. I wanted to let everybody know, and thank you, Gilman. We were able, and friends, Al, and all the musicians who participated, we were able to send $1,200 to Ukraine. And it did get there. It did get there within a day of our Easter here. So I want to thank you for that. And if you want to continue giving, the box in the back still will collect on a weekly basis your extra tithes. Please feel free to do that. And if you want to donate online, we can put in the chat where to do that. And so we'll take our tithes and our gifts and our offerings. We're going to bless them. We're going to rejuvenate them. And this can go in the food. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you, everybody, for your generous heart.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. And thank you for believing. Thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing. And you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who.
And so I invite us to the congregation, outstretch our hands toward the offering received. The lady's trying to take it to her van. And we bless it and multiply it. Can you see it? Let it be enough to keep the CRS Redlands, which is spiritual idea in the mind of God, to keep going another 70 plus years. Can you feel it? Together we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
And online, let us know from where you're watching, and hit the buttons to contribute and be a giver. Okay, and Rosemary has our announcements.
Hello, it's me again. Number one, join deeper conversations with Brother Mark tonight on Zoom from 6 to 8 p.m. Ask David, our tech, or Brother Mark for the Zoom link. 100% of all donations goes to our church general fund. Stay with us after service for potluck and snacks, and fellows are invited to rise for the closing songs. And I just want to say that I come here to tend my flame, and I want to thank you all for that. Thank you for being here with us today. Aho.
Oh. Thank you, Rosemary. And let's give a hand too to our musical inspiration, the incomparable Al Yankee.
Well, you know, I used to think I'd always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spend my days in quiet desperation, but on the outside, things looked good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. So simple that it turned my world around. Oh, why? Why did it take so many years? Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Knowing with my mind wide open. Something like that. Living with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open. There is no separation, no matter what it looks like. There is no separation, no matter what they say. No separation except what I imagine, and I imagine separation.